This is a big ET Now exclusive. Will COVID kill the food delivery business? What's going to happen when you see a big boy like Amazon increase its market share? It's announced that it's going to be entering. You've also got Zomato looking at this particular segment, which basically means Zomato and Swiggy need to get their act together. They need to figure out the road ahead. The losses have been ballooning even before COVID. Cash burn, yes, had come down, but then came along COVID, came along lockdown, came along the facts that volumes are down by over 80%. It has the investors rattled, and I understand from my sources, investors of both Swiggy as well as Zomato see logic behind a possible merger. It's at a very nascent stage. In fact, I'm being told by my sources that talks on a merger were held even pre-COVID. So even before coronavirus, the investors had toyed with the idea of a merger, though that round one of talks did not fructify, primarily on account of the founders not seeing eye to eye, and of course the classic battle of who was going to get control. That was just one of the reasons. I would like to point out all of this is at a premature stage. It's at a very nascent stage. It's what the investors want. If you see any transaction also take place, it's going to be highly complex, a very difficult one to execute, when you put in all of the factors, whether the investments are at subsidiary levels, the ESOPs, the competition laws, all of that. But this is the ET Now exclusive. It's what the investors want. More than that, when you look at the investors of both Swiggy and Zomato, the largest shareholders are also from China. Tencent in the case of Swiggy, and Ant Financial, Alibaba in the case of Zomato. Now, we all know what has happened post-COVID, how India has also changed its FDI rules, wanting to pre-screen investments that come in from China. And we are being told by our sources that both Tencent and Ant Financial have thrown up their hands in a sense and said they do not really want to increase their investments. Existing investors now believe the time is right than ever before to consider a merger. With COVID, you have to increase your cash runway, but losses have only been ballooning. Yes, both companies have tried. They've, cut down jobs as well. 520 in the case of Zomato is the number for the layoffs. You've got 1,100 in the case of Swiggy. This is the back-end staff. So let's see how this one pans out. I would like to once again say that we at ET Now reached out to all the stakeholders. Zomato, it's been over 24 hours, has not responded to our email, whereas Swiggy has said these are all market speculations and they categorically deny it. I would also again point out that, if you see a merger of Swiggy and Zomato is the two biggest that you have in the food delivery business, but dynamics have been changing. Remember, Zomato, for example, is relying a lot on its Zomato Gold platform. Remember, these two food apps had also started looking at cloud kitchens. They started tying up with restaurants for all kind of in-dining experiences, but then came along COVID, and right now you're not seeing any visibility on when you're going to see business coming back to normal, when India will be completely ready to dine in again, call food out the way it was actually doing. So if I was to even use a very bad analogy from the food business, what I would actually say, it's almost as if the investors of Swiggy and Zomato are sitting together and they haven't even decided which appetizer to call for at the moment. It's at that premature level.